I'm Steve Hoffman, and here to talk to you about Ontuitive. Let me position this a bit before I get rolling. This is I want you to think insurance, which may sound like an odd way to start. Insurance for ROI, return on investment. Insurance for ROI in enterprise applications. And yes, there are some K-12 and higher ed connections, student information systems, LMSs, et cetera, and major software implementations in K-12 and higher ed. But to be honest, much of what we address in terms of the business problem is corporate today, although we have a lot of interest in K-12 and higher ed as well. But most of the interest is coming out in the corporate arena. The good folks at Gartner help us set the stage by indicating we spend a lot of money on enterprise apps. And our solution applies to one or multiple apps at the same time. I'll describe that in a second. And the bigger problem that we're addressing is that there's a 48% problem with respect to effective adoption of these enterprise applications. So somebody bet their job or bet their ROI on the notion that we're going to implement this enterprise application to achieve something for our business or our clients or both. And we're not getting there. So there's this sort of the statement of the big problem. And yes, when you're thinking about the go live of a substantial enterprise application, pick Salesforce.com, pick SAP, pick Blackboard, pick any of the multiple student information systems you might be thinking of when you think about enterprise applications. We spend a lot of money sort of getting ready for that. There's a go live date, and then after the implementation of the application, there is some time lag between that start and when we get to break even and actually get the return we're looking for. And what we do to get people ready, clients, are people that are going to use these enterprise applications is inside that costly, vicious cycle, which I feel badly about because I've actually kind of made a career inside the costly, vicious cycle. But the e-learning aspects, the training of users pre-start of the application availability, classroom training, help desks to support people after the fact, peer support when we get stuck, all those kinds of things on a rapid basis are essentially a part of the problem that we're trying to address. And predictably, in the presence of Ontuitive, things get better. So effectively, we're trying to come upstream such that the training of the users, so to speak, is in Ontuitive and not in the application itself. We give them some perspective with respect to why the enterprise is implementing Blackboard or whatever. But at the same time, we train them in how to use Ontuitive as the vehicle for them to support themselves once they're going live with the application, getting to faster ROI, et cetera, et cetera. How do we do this? Three key points. Our technology, our software is embedded in the applications. Again, one app, could be SAP, could be a variety of applications. And we have a number of customers that use Ontuitive across those applications, and our solution travels. Our software is tracking the context of the user. We understand your job role, your job task, what you're trying to do. You could be a nurse in a hospital using Epic, right? So we understand what your roles are, and we're tracking your usage of the application by watching what you're doing and providing just enough content in our promise of two clicks and 10 seconds to get you back to productive work. That's the big idea. So inside the application, embedded, understanding the context of the user, just enough assistance to get them back to work. So the stuff I learned 2 weeks ago in class that I've since forgotten is actually living with me inside the application. So a quick show. This is a Salesforce.com. Couple of slides, which is we have a lot of clients implementing Salesforce.com and Ontuitive inside. So first-time user, we understand that because that's the first time in the application. That's the context we're setting. We understand who the person is. So instead of wandering aimlessly around in the application trying to figure out what I heard 2 weeks ago and how I should get started, up pops our just enough solution to allow us to actually guide you with respect to how you're supposed to get started, how we expect you to get started inside the application. Again, think of any application when we're doing this. Providing support that actually helps. So at the exact time, and with our ability to actually understand the context of the user, we provide appropriate steps and details, either because they asked for it or because we decided to push that to them, so to speak, because they've drifted off path. So up pops and up the steps and details required to get you back to work again, 2 clicks, 10 seconds. Or if the user wants, we have a pyramid of content underneath it, including e-learning courses, simulations, all that sort of stuff required if you want to go deeper to learn more, sort of taking a step backward into the sort of the traditional learning experience about the application itself. Productive during change. Our clients, all of us are very flexible. Changing our organizations on a dime. Oftentimes, it's difficult to get the message out with respect to those changes. So we can actually, within the application, whatever our users are using or our clients are using, actually pop up new alerts with respect to here's something that's changed. Here's an expectation of what you want to do different than you did yesterday with respect to this application. Here's a bit of a justification for why we're making that change, and here's what it means to you. I see where I am. Business strategy, same sort of thing. I'm the chief sales officer, and I keep using Salesforce here as the example, but please understand, any enterprise application this can apply to. I've got a problem with stuck opportunities at a certain point in my pipeline. I've decided to put a program in place to get those things unstuck. I want my sales reps, sales managers to do certain things to actually take action on those stuck opportunities. And inside of Salesforce now, I've got that prompting, that justification. Here's the words with respect to what we want you to do differently for that. And lastly, sales effectiveness. And this is the part that I think is the most attractive. Why are applications not implemented? Because the users don't see value, or they're confused. And we're trying to address both. In the case of the value point, if you're inside of a major enterprise, you want competitive intelligence from your sales teams. You want to understand what's happening with respect to the competitors. The sales teams think about it, do I have time to put that in? What's in it for me? Because I know I'm feeding the beast, so to speak, with respect to competitive intelligence, but why do I care? Well, now suddenly we've turned the tables such that here we've got a sales rep understanding his competition is Steelcase, so I'm probably selling office furniture, and up pops a variety of just-in-time information with respect to how do we price against Steelcase. Here's how we won yesterday against Steelcase. Here's information that's useful to you to position yourself in the meetings that you're going to have today, the sales calls you're going to make today with respect to that. And again, think of this as a nurse now, not a sales rep, serving the needs of a patient with drugs, et cetera, the same kind of thing. So that's the big idea for Ontuitive. Insurance for return on investment for enterprise applications with embedded technology and just enough for 2 clicks and 10-second support to get you back on your way. Thanks.